Khamzat Chimaev, Robert Whittaker, a long-awaited meeting. On October 26, one of the most anticipated fights of this year will take place in Abu Dhabi, UAE, at the UFC 308 tournament. Undefeated Chechen fighter Khamzat Chimaev will share the octagon with former UFC middleweight champion Robert Whittaker from Australia. Chimaev and Whittaker should have fought earlier. Initially, the fight between Khamzat Chimaev and Robert Whittaker was scheduled for June 22, 2024. The guys were supposed to headline the first UFC tournament in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. However, 10 days before the event, Boers was hospitalized due to serious health problems. Boers' fighter was forced to withdraw from the confrontation against the Australian. Chimaev was replaced by Dagestani Ikram Aliskerov. However, the Russian failed to make a sensation and compete with Whittaker on short notice. Robert knocked out Aliskerov in the first round, what prompted Robert to take up the fight with Khamzat again. Immediately after Whittaker strangled Aliskerov, Khamzat got in touch on social networks. "Congratulations to Robert Whittaker, we haven't finished the job. I wish Ikram Aliskerov a speedy recovery, keep your head up, my brother." Chimaev made it clear that he would like to end the story with a fight against the Reaper. Robert, in turn, indicated that he would be ready to fight the undefeated prospect if the league asked for it. "Seriously, I don't choose my fights. If the UFC needs this fight and they are still interested, I am ready to do it," Whittaker replied to Chimaev as part of his podcast. The league heard Whittaker's words, and already in early August, the UFC press service re-announced the fight between the two top teams of the division. Of course, many people had a logical question. Why did Robert not immediately abandon the fight against Chimaev? Because Boers is inconvenient to him as an opponent and is outside the top 10 middleweights of the UFC. But there is an explanation here. Firstly, Chimaev is one of the main stars of the UFC at the moment. He is on a par with Jon Jones, Conor McGregor and Alex Pereira. Accordingly, money and media are the main motives that prompted Rob to take this fight again. Secondly, the victory over Chimaev is the guarantor of the title holder. Chimaev's game plan, the assault from the first seconds. In the fight against Whittaker, Khamzat will have to rely on wrestling. In the course of his career, Chimaev did it well. According to StatsFight, on average, a Chechen fighter makes 3.48 takedowns per round, and also makes 4.36 attempts at submission. Chimaev conducts all fights in the UFC the same way. From the first seconds, he goes forward and tries to strangle the opponent as soon as possible. Aggressive dominating style perfectly characterizes a fighter. This is what Boers needs in a fight with Robert. At a distance of 5 rounds, Chimaev may have big problems. Therefore, he should immediately storm Whittaker, transfer the fight to the stalls and look for the finish in the first 2 rounds. Whittaker's game plan: survive the initial onslaught. Robert Whittaker is an experienced fighter. He has excellent striking, 10 knockouts, an average of 11.3 thrown strikes per minute, 45% strikes percentage and cardio. Rob got 11 wins by decision. The main task of the Australian in the fight against Chimaev is to survive the initial onslaught. Khamzat is extremely dangerous at the beginning of the fight. But if Whittaker copes with the onslaught and drags the fight closer to the equator, then there he will have a great opportunity to restrain Khamzat at a distance and methodically interrupt him in a distance. The rating of Chimaev and Whittaker from StatsFight, whose is higher? According to StatsFight rating, the fighting level of former UFC champion Robert Whittaker is higher than that of Khamzat Chimaev. The skills of an Australian are rated 86. As for the Chechen avenue, its characteristics are listed with a rating of 81. Now the UFC championship belt in the middle division belongs to Dricus du Plessis. The head of the organization, Dana White, has already announced that the South African's next opponent will be American Sean Strickland. According to media reports, their rematch will take place in early 2025. With a 99% probability, the winner of their pair will fight the strongest in the confrontation, Robert Whittaker, Khamzat Chimaev. Because other participants in the title race are lagging behind these two in terms of status and media coverage. About us. If you like this review, then please like it. Analyze the technical arsenal of fighters in our StatsFight MMA Picks and Score app available on the App Store and Google Play, and make your own scenario and forecast for this fight.